From WXII 12 News, this is breaking news.
We are following multiple breaking news stories tonight at 11 o'clock. First, in Greensboro, one person is dead. They were hit by a train. This happened near the East Market Street corridor between Holtz Chapel Road and Pine Street around 9:15 tonight. Police have not identified the victim right now. More breaking news in Winston-Salem. Police say someone shot a man around 9 o'clock tonight on East 25th Street in a neighborhood off University Parkway. Officers say Armand Cruz was walking with two other people when a vehicle drove by and someone inside started shooting. Cruz was hit somewhere in his abdomen. Right now, he's at the hospital. No word on how he's doing. Call police or Crime Stoppers if you know anything about this shooting. And breaking news in Eden now. Police have arrested 20-year-old Skykolian Tinsley for a shooting this afternoon. Officers were called to the UNC Rockingham Hospital around 2:30 this afternoon. They found Jonathan Rubio after he'd been shot several times. Investigators believe this shooting happened near 1st and Cedar Streets in Eden. Rubio was airlifted to a trauma center. It's not known how he's doing tonight. Tinsley spending the night in jail without bond. He's due in court at the beginning of August. Download our free WXII 12 News mobile app as we continue following these developing stories. We'll send you push alerts as we learn more information. Happening now in Winston-Salem, police are still searching for two people connected to a convenience store robbery. One man is in custody. Around 3:30 this morning, investigators say Geigen Turner went to the Kangaroo Express on Kernersville Road, pointed a gun at the clerk and demanded money. He drove away with the cash in a blue Nissan Altima. Later on, police spotted that car on MLK Jr. Drive. Officers say the driver sped off and caused a crash. That's when Turner and two other men got out and ran. Turner is the only person police caught. He's facing a number of charges, including robbery with a dangerous weapon. If you know anything about this case or where those two other people may be, call police. Tomorrow morning will mark 1 week since a woman from Charlotte was murdered in Canada. And tonight, investigators say they're not any closer to finding her killer. 24-year-old China Deese and her boyfriend Lucas Fowler were killed while exploring Canadian national parks. Officers found them dead along the highway Monday morning, along with a blue '87 Chevrolet van. Canadian police are working with the FBI now to figure out if this couple was targeted or if this was a crime of opportunity. Investigators want to hear from anyone who may have dash camera or surveillance video of the couple or that blue van. A man wanted in the death of a motorcyclist in Greensboro last week has turned himself in. Police say Thursday morning, Justin Covington didn't stop for a traffic signal at the intersection of English Street and McConnell Road. He hit Joseph Brown and Brown flew off of his motorcycle. He died later on from his injuries. Covington is facing felony hit and run charges and being held on $100,000 bond. A man facing kidnapping and assault charges has a court date this week. Jesse Edwards turned himself in to the Rockingham County Sheriff's Office on Friday night. He's accused of threatening a man with a gun, forcing him to drive to a home on Morgan Road in Eden. Police say Edwards shot into that house and hit a woman in the leg. He's being held on $3 million bond and he's due back in court on Tuesday. Students who go to a school in the largest district in the Triad won't be starting classes along with everyone else at the end of summer break. Tomorrow, the Guilford County Board of Education is meeting, hoping to find an emergency resolution for kids at Brooks Global Studies. Right now, the elementary school is not on track to start on time because of extensive building repairs. Brooks Global Studies' principal says the floor joists supporting some of the classrooms need to be fixed. She says the first day of school is going to be delayed from August 8th to the 26th now. The board's holding a special meeting tomorrow morning at 11 to talk about what options they have moving forward. Guilford County schools leaders across the district say that they need about $1.5 billion to finish building repairs. Making headlines on Capitol Hill tonight, President Donald Trump is posting new tweets about the 4 Democratic congressmen who he's been targeting for about a week now. Many lawmakers have called the post racist. Hans Nicholson has a report and a response from the vice president tonight.
Before returning to Washington after a weekend at his Bedminster Golf Resort, President Trump sharpened his attacks today on 4 Democratic lawmakers of color, characterizing them as weak and insecure, even suggesting that they are irredeemable. I don't believe the 4 congresswomen are capable of loving our country, the president tweeted. Today, Democratic lawmakers returned fire.
Do you believe President Trump is a racist?
I believe he is, yes, no doubt about it. And I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt.
He is somebody that is using race like a weapon to divide our country against itself.
But White House advisors defended the president, accusing Democrats of playing the race card.
I fundamentally disagree with the view that if you criticize somebody and they happen to be a different color skin, that makes it a racial criticism.
Both sides now digging in, preparing for a long battle.
We're not going anywhere.
While Vice President Pence was unclear whether Mr. Trump would stay silent, like he did for 13 seconds last week, if his supporters repeat their chant, "Send her back."
The president was very clear.
Was he?
That he wasn't happy about it, and that if it happened again, he'd make an effort to speak out about it.
If you obey, you will be saved. You must not impair, impede, obstruct, or hamper the passage of the MV Stena Imperio.
New tonight, Iranian military leaders have released new audio from the capture of a British tanker over the weekend. Just yesterday, that country's Revolutionary Guard put out video of its forces seizing the ship on Friday. Iran says it was enforcing international law, but UK leaders say this is retaliation for Britain seizing an Iranian oil tanker earlier this month under the suspicion it was violating EU sanctions about delivering oil to Syria. President Trump is joining European allies in demanding Iran to release the ship and its 23-person crew. Also new tonight, the U.S. military is accusing Venezuela of a dangerous aerial encounter over the Caribbean. Today, the U.S. Southern Command released this video showing a Venezuelan fighter jet, which the command says was, quote, aggressively shadowing an American plane. The Navy says this incident took place over international airspace Friday at an unsafe distance. The two planes did not collide and nobody was hurt in this incident. The encounter happened on the same day the Trump administration announced it was sanctioning 4 top officials at Venezuela's military counterintelligence agency. New tonight, the people of Puerto Rico are filling the streets in celebration this time over the governor's announcement he is not going to try to be reelected and he's stepping down as his party's leader. But Governor Ricardo Rossello says he's not resigning as governor. For weeks, people living in the U.S. territory have protested, asking the governor to step down. After nearly 900 pages of a private group chat were leaked and published. Those chats include vulgar jokes made about female politicians and journalists and an anti-gay slur aimed at Puerto Rican pop star Ricky Martin. Governor Rossello says he's looking forward to facing the process of impeachment, which has already started in the Puerto Rican legislature. Back in North Carolina, a former crew chief with Richard Childress Racing in Davidson County has died. Nick Harrison joined Colleague Racing as a crew chief this year, working with car number 11 and driver Justin Haley. The racing company announced Harrison's death in a tweet this afternoon. NASCAR drivers like Kurt Busch, Austin Dillon, and Justin Haley all paid tribute to Harrison's work on Twitter, sharing pictures of their time together. The Tennessee native worked with Richard Childress Racing in Welcome, North Carolina from 2013 until this year, acting as crew chief for the team's number 3 and 33 cars. Harrison was 37 years old. A grieving family in Raleigh is working on funeral arrangements after a freak accident killed Lee Dingle. The 37-year-old was playing with his kids in the ocean off Oak Island, North Carolina this weekend. His wife says that's when he was hit by a powerful wave that smashed his head into the sand and broke his neck. People on the beach and Dingle's own kids tried to save him, but he died from his injuries. He had just been promoted 2 weeks ago to president of Atlas Engineering in Raleigh. Dingle leaves behind his wife and their 6 children. Meteorologist Lane Pope's going to have your forecast in just a moment. It includes a break from this oppressive heat, thankfully. That is really good news for people who have gotten severe storms because of the heat wave. In Florida today, 3 people were struck by lightning during a storm over Clearwater Beach. 1 person's in critical condition because of it. And in Wisconsin, people had to remove trees from crushed homes and flipped boats in the water. This heat wave and the storms it's brought with it have knocked out power for thousands of people, and at least half a dozen people have died.
Went to the second one, came to this one, and then I looked online and I saw that they were closed, all of them, because of the weather, which kind of took me by surprise because I figured the hotter it was, the more people are going to want to come to the pool.
Yeah, it is safer to stay inside. The city of Durham, Carolina decided it was too hot to swim, so they shut down 3 of its outdoor pools today. They also stopped boat rentals at a local lake. A heat advisory was in effect as temps hit triple digits with the heat index, making it feel as hot as 105 degrees. And in the Triad, the heat wave shortened the High Point Rockers series finale against the Somerset Patriots this afternoon. The game still started at 2 o'clock, but the teams only played 7 innings instead of 9 to keep the players and fans from overheating. The Rockers are playing 15 of their next 21 games at home at BB&T Point Stadium, hopefully in some cooler weather.
Yeah, it does look like we're actually going to see an end to this stretch of hot, humid air. That's good news, right? I'll let you know when highs are going to be in the 80s coming up.
And she's getting ready to compete in the World Aquatic Championships. How Kathleen Baker's Olympic teammates are doing in the competition so far as we look ahead to the Summer Games in Tokyo. We're back in a moment.